Morning, everybody. We are rolling this morning. Good to see you. My name is Meg. This is Loven Stamp Studio, and welcome to Maker Mornings with Meg. So hopefully we're back today on our regular channel and you guys can find me okay. But anyway, I wanted to just say a little introduction for our project for today. The card we're going to make is actually 2 cards. So we are going to do both cards with the stamp set covered in sunshine, so the sky right here, and then we're going to do 2 versions of it. We're going to do a very simple version, so when you're stamping in a hurry and you want to just get rolling and get your card made so that you can go on to the rest of your day. This is the card that I make when we're on our way to the party and I say, oh my gosh, I forgot to get a birthday card together. And then, so this is the first card is the one you're gonna make in the 3 minutes when you're running out the door. And the rest of your family is like, I'm getting in the car. Are we ready to go yet? So the quick card. And then the second card is going to be the elaborate one when you have time to sit and stamp and enjoy your crafting and the process of putting it all together. So we're going to use a bunch of different pieces for that, and I think you'll really like that. So morning, Sue. Hey, Tanya. All right, so glad you guys can find me this morning. We're back in business. Let me switch our camera here and we will get started with our project. So you can see the 2 sets of supplies I have, and there is a link in the video description for the supplies for both cards. It's one link for everything. Hey, Terry. So don't be like scared about the size of that list, but we're going to start with our simple version here. Like I said, this is the card you make in the 3 minutes when you are on your way to an event and realize that you forgot to make your card and you need it right now. So just picture in the background my family going, Mom, are you ready? We're going to be late. Mom, are you ready? So you're going to cut your cardstock really quickly, a 5.5 inch by 1.5 inch strip. And hey, Carol, this just gets put down here. And then our second piece of card or designer paper is this one. It is 3 inches by 3.5. Actually, I think this one's a little bigger. Maybe it's 3 inches by 4 inches. But you know what? When you're like on the way and you find that paper in your stash of like pre-cut pieces left over in your packet, you use it, right? So we're going with it. So then I'm going to go ahead and grab my stamp here and my Memento ink, which is my super fave black pad. I'm going to go ahead and stamp our greeting here, which is from the beautiful Covered in Sunshine stamp set. Hey, Margot. And then we are going to highlight some of these words. So I could go ahead and put it on just like this, but I'm going to highlight with Stampin' Blends. And while I'm waiting, I don't want to do it right away. I'm going to, tell them to, go get in the car. I'll be right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. And this is a very easy process when you have the right cutting technique. So practice your fussy cutting. But basically, I'm going to keep my scissors steady and just use my left hand to turn the paper and try and cut in long, fluid cuts. So, all right, so there we have our pieces for that. And this is going to get ready to go here on our card. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight the words. So I've got my petal pink marker, which I'm going to highlight the word dreams, okay, like this. And then I'm going to grab my Calypso Coral marker, and I'm going to highlight the word kindness, okay. And then I have my Old Olive marker, and I'm going to highlight the word share. Okay, so then we have our 3 pieces. I'm gonna grab the Stampin' Dimensionals that happen to be handy, which is this piece that has edges right there. And I am going to stick that on my card. And ta-da, okay, I'm gonna grab an envelope. I'll stamp something on the envelope, maybe one of these little star images or sunshine, something like that from the same stamp set. We'll jump in the car and go to our event, and there we go. Like, really? Did they even know that I was making a card? Yes, of course, they probably did. But a really quick card layout, right? All right, so now let's delve into our second card, which has a lot more to it. I think you guys will be really excited about it. But before I do, let me show you this paper. So this is, it's actually 12 by 12 paper. I just have these 6 by 6 samples cut down to show you more easily. This is the Favored Flowers paper. It is from the Sale-A-Bration Mini Catalog, and it is beautiful. These can be die cut with the dies from the coordinating stamp set, which is in the regular catalog. But that's the one side, and then this is the pretty back side. We were looking at this with some stampers the other night, and they said that they thought this had kind of a gothic look. Someone else called it Victorian, but either way, it is absolutely gorgeous paper, and so there is a really fun card with it. And I think, didn't I just use this? Oh, I did the other day, but I didn't finish the card, so. So great for this one, and limited time with your Sale-A-Bration rewards. You can get that. All right. Our second card is going to come also with Sale-A-Bration paper. This one is also 12 by 12 paper, so this is cut down. There's like a whole sheet of these little panels. Here, there's some green. Oh, I almost like wish on my card that I would use this one. I could swap it up real fast and show you the difference. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a piece of this for our card. Let's see. I know some people like to cut their 12 by 12 paper to 6 by 6 when they get it. I don't. That's definitely not my go-to, because I loved doing DSP card bases, and so I want my paper to be 12 inches long so I can do that. But if you have cut yours, it's fine. I know that there's a lot of great strategies for that too. And all of my Loven Stamps 3 by 4 cards, they work great for that strategy. So. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I said 3 by 3.5 was our card size here, and then I'll show you also what I did for the original one. So I'll show you both versions of the card. And I kind of like this one with the purple background. I kind of missed that. All right, so here is our paper for our second card. And for our second card, I'm using a rich raspberry background. Hey, Shirley. Morning, Trish. So our second card, we're going to start with our rich raspberry background here. And this paper here has a very pretty, oh, I didn't show you the backgrounds of those. Did you want to see those? This is Dainty Floral, and it has these very pretty, I love these sort of watercolor paper, splotchy papers. And the one that we're missing, oh, there we go, is this one. So lots of great patterns available there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and attach this one. Remember, this is the card that we're making over. We're gonna do our I'm not on my way out the door card version. So we're gonna take our time and put this together. So this is a great card for Loven Stamps Sketch Savers, which is a series of sketches that I'm offering to help you in your card making. So you can check on my blog at Loven Stamps later today, and I will have that this particular card sketch saver will be a freebie on my blog. So if you're looking for the sketch savers for the January month, they are in the tutorials. So you can check your email. If you've already placed an order with me this month, you will have gotten that in your email. And if you haven't, you still have time. So the first 4 sketch savers are part of the monthly tutorials for January, or later today, hot off the press, you'll be able to get them from my Etsy shop, which is the Loven Stamps Card Mart on Etsy. So, okay. So now we have our base card and we have our greeting. So for this one, I'm using this, the road ahead be brighter than the one behind, lined with wildflowers and covered with sunshine, which seemed like an absolutely perfect choice for this set of designer series paper, right? So we're going to kind of do the same highlighting trick with this, but instead of highlighting with our Stampin' Blends like we did here, hey Margie, and happy pre-Friday, Kelly. All right, instead of doing the Stampin' Blends, we're gonna go ahead and use our strips of paper. So I'm gonna turn my stamp over here. Let's make sure I've got it really well inked. I'm gonna do it this way so I can see what's going on. I wanna have really nice ink on there. Okay. And then you can use another block, you can use your finger, but basically for each of these words, I am going to lay my cardstock down and just press across there so that I have the image that I want. So I have brighter is gonna be our This color is Blushing Bride. And then we have our Crushed Curry, and then we're gonna do Wildflowers, which I feel like could use a teeny bit more ink. My Memento pad is one of the ones I ink the most often because I use it all the time. And it is a very quick, easy pad to ink, so. All right, and then we have our Wildflowers. I know they're upside down for you guys, but you know what it is. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to trim those. But first we're gonna do our fussy cutting. And if you saw the first fussy cutting, you're like, that was not enough information, then we're in our leisurely enjoy our card making process card now. So I'm gonna take the second to remind you about fussy cutting. It's like my mission is happy fussy cutters. So what I'm doing with my right hand is not turning my scissors. I am just giving the full extent of the blade each time. And paper snips, if you don't have them, or yours need to be replaced because they are scissors. They do get dull over years of use. There's a link in the video description, but you're gonna hold your scissors steady and use your free hand to turn your cardstock. And I like to give a little margin. You can practice doing this. We have some super A+ stampers who've been practicing their fussy cutting. I love it when you guys come back and tell me that you're enjoying your fussy cutting so much more because you've been practicing with my tips. So, all right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and cut our words here with relatively straight lines, although honestly, they're so small, no one is gonna notice if you're not completely straight on these. And so this is our first step up of our card. You wanna cut pretty close to the words, and I'll show you, you'll be able to see why when we put our card together. But you wanna cut pretty close to those words because of the overlap. The message is really tight together. And you can, of course, use this trick on all kinds of stamp sets that have multiple words. It's not just limited to this one. So look at your greetings a little bit, give them a critical eye and decide, like, could I highlight a word or two that would really like enhance the message? All right, so we have our pieces there. I'm gonna see, there we go. Okay, a little closer for you guys. So I'm gonna take this and I am going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back because I love Stampin' Dimensionals for highlighting elements. Having an extra, basically an extra shadow layer is really a great perk of using Stampin' Dimensionals. And that extra shadow layer is just really kind of a cool subtle effect for your eye that really highlights something without making it too crazy. So let's go ahead and peel the backings off of these and we'll start putting them on. So we have Brighter, which is gonna fit right on here. And you can see now why it was really important for me to cut my elements really close to the words. So, hey, Patricia. All right. And then we're going to add Covered in Sunshine. So yeah, it is, I need a Covered in Sunshine card here. I think we're pretty dreary right now where I am in central Illinois. So I would love Covered in Sunshine, but really this is a great greeting for anyone who's kind of going through a lot and is ready for something new. So, all right, so there we have our greeting and it's gonna sit down there, kind of just like our other. Now, I could put it on mostly or on the paper here, but I find that is really distracting. It's really hard to read this. It gets lost in the background. So watch what happens when I move it over to here and I have it on the solid cardstock. It all of a sudden, this piece jumps off the page, okay? So watch that again. Here it is, lost in the mess of the background paper, and here, da-da-da, it becomes a greeting that's really powerful and like you can appreciate it. So make sure that you're thinking about where you're mounting your pieces so that you have really good opportunities for them to shine to the best of their ability, okay? So here's the paper that I was gonna use, which is how I got the colors for our card. So I'll show you this version of it too when we're done. But let's go back to our card here. This is our Enjoy the Journey crafting card version. So we're going to enjoy our journey by bringing in the bundle for Dainty Delights. So this is in the purple catalog, the January through April book. And it coordinates, here you go, with in this book here, it coordinates with the designer series paper that is in the Sale-A-Bration book. So this paper is in here, and it's one of the ones you can pick for free with a qualifying order in the January or February. So there it is. You can see lots of really gorgeous ideas for this paper, including this one, which really just makes the most of the paper itself. So this coordinating die set and stamp set are fabulous. You can, of course, cut out the images, or you can use the greetings, which are an excellent set. Celebrate You. We were just looking for anniversary stuff the other day, and really, Celebrate You could be an anniversary, all kinds of fun things. I was actually looking at this Sending Love During the Season of Growth image. I have a lot of friends who have sent kids off to college for the first time. Like, this is a message that is well resonating. So maybe that'll go out to some friends here. But I also love the dies in this stamp set here that are not specific tied to a stamp image. They are decorative background or foreground. They're shadow kind of dies or shape dies. They actually have some texture. The center of the flower there has those little dots on it. This beautiful vine sprig has those lines for the leaves. We have this Queen Anne's lace looking kind of thing. Let's see. And then lots of others. There's some flowers. There's some tall ones here that could be like delphinium. There's some sort of piled blossoms. There could be hydrangeas. All kinds of good possibilities for this die set. But we're going to just pick 3 because we're enjoying our crafting, but we don't need to put everything on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and die cut these. I have my cardstock here. We're going to do our stem from Old Olive. We're going to do our Queen Anne's lace here from Starry Sky, which is going to match our wildflowers word. And we're going to do our daisies here from Crushed Curry, okay, to match our sunshine. So when I have those ready for you, which I have done ahead of time, you can see the detail, I think. Get our camera to focus. You can see the detail. And I'm going to show you how to make these just a little bit more detailed before we put them on our card. And so what I'm going to do is I want to turn the leaves here, or turn the petals here so that they're a little bit more dimensional, because I could stick it on flat just like this, but I'm going to put this right on the pad of my first finger, and use my thumbnail to just gently press down along that. I'm not really pulling because I don't want to rip the petals off, but I am breaking those cardstock fibers, just kind of massaging it with my fingernail. Can you kind of see that action there? Okay. And so now I'll get the rest of them done. Instead of being completely flat, they are nicely rounded. So you can see here that our flower has some dimension to it, a little bit more than it would if it was just stuck on flat. Okay, we can do the same thing for our Queen Anne's lace. These are very dainty. Be very careful when you're doing your little cardstock fiber breaking here with your fingernail. Don't pull, just sort of run. And the more times you do it, they'll get broken just with repetition. You don't have to do it like all at once, yank. Okay, and then I'm going to move some of these back down and some of them back up so that you can you kind of see that becomes just a little bit more organic in our project. Now I'm going to do this too, but I'm going to wait a second because I don't want to do it before I glue down, because I need some of this to be able to glue in place. So we're going to keep our greeting off to the side here so that we have that good placement. And then I'm going to tuck the bottom of this under our greeting here. Let's see. And then I'm going to grab some more of that Stampin' Dimensional sheet. That's probably a little bit too big. Let's go back and do this piece here. I'm going to grab some more of this, and I'm going to use this. I love to use my dimensionals to stick down elements on my card so I don't have to stress about trying to glue tiny things so much, okay? So that's going to get covered up there like that. But let's go ahead. We're going to add this is a little floppy for my taste. So we're going to add a little bit of glue, and of course, multi-purpose liquid glue is the way to go for something like this. I'm going to gently peel this back without folding it because I don't want to create a crimp in my cardstock. I'm just going to twist it here, and I'm gonna add a little dot of glue on some of these leaves here. There we go, those 5 in the middle. I'm gonna set that down, and then I'm gonna do my paper trick here. I'm just gonna I'm not even gonna use my fingernail, I'm just gonna use the pad of my thumb to pop up those leaves just a little bit, okay? Now, because that green lid glue, the multi-purpose glue, doesn't grab instantly, I'm just gonna set my block there so that it has a chance to grab, and then I'm going to add some glue here to the stem. If you can see the glue, it is enough. You do not need like a big mound. You can see I've barely got any glue on there at all. This stuff is so sticky. It really sticks well. So I'm gonna put this here, so I have my guide again, and I'm gonna lay that down and pop my block back on. So that's just gonna help make sure that I have good contact between all my layers so the glue stays stuck. Morning, Roxanne. All right, so we have our curly flower here, and this is going to need a mini Stampin' Dimensional. So make sure you have mini Stampin' Dimensionals in your arsenal also, your stamping toolbox. And I'm gonna pop that on, and I'm gonna show you my favorite new embellishment, okay, after the rhinestones. My favorite new embellishment when I put this on. So let's go ahead and pop another piece of dimensional on this. Remember, I have one that's already on our card that's gonna stick the bottom, so I don't need to worry too much about that. And I think this is good enough. I'm gonna peel this backing off here and go ahead and pop our card on. And if you are just tuning in and you missed the part where I showed how to place this stamp, you're gonna wanna do that. Now, the other thing to notice about this is that you want to center it not so that this line is straight on the side. You wanna center it so that the curves are up and down against each other. So there's just a little slant to this stamp. Oh, Roxanne, it'll be great. You'll love all the stuff when you go back. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take our flower here with the curly leaves and pop this here on the side, okay? Now, we're getting closer here on our pretty card, but you can see having those cardstock layers just a little bit more dimensional just gives it a little bit more interest. So we are going to add to the interest by adding 2 embellishments. The first one is, these are my new favorite. They are the flat backed adhesive pearls, and let's just take a moment to appreciate how absolutely gorgeous they are, okay? So lots of iridescent colors in these, and they come in 2 sizes, these smaller ones and these very large ones here. So they're like somebody took a pearl and squashed it flat, or they're like, you know, natural pearls, which are so pretty. And they go really well with the By the Bay suite, which is the one with the oysters and the seabirds and stuff like that. They're good for anything. So these are a little bit too small for this particular flower. So I'm gonna grab one of the larger ones here and pop this in the middle of our little daisy flower. Okay, why did I not use my take your pick tool? Because that would have been a lot easier. There we go. Okay, so there we have our daisy. Now we're gonna get your take your pick tool out here because I have 2 more pearls to put on. I want to repeat this element. I don't always love to have just a single element of something, so I'm gonna put 1 there. And then I really don't want to move our focal point to here. I really want our focal point to be here. So I'm gonna add another pearl down here that's gonna really help to draw your eye back down to here, because sunshine, that is our focal point. And you can really see the way we've put our pearls together and the way we have done our colors and so forth. That bright yellow is gonna be right here. So this is gonna pull out that sunshine word, which is what we want for this card. All right, and then I have 1 more thing to add. I felt like, you know, it needs something like twiny or like something textury with burlap or twine or something. So we have our linen thread here, which I just opened a brand new roll, and I'll tell you, it took me a little while to find the starting point on it. I finally just went across it with my fingernails in the middle where I thought the end might be, and it popped out. So, and I've told you before, when this comes off the roll, it is really spirally. And if you don't want it to be quite so spirally, my recommendation is to just take our thumbnail and our first finger are getting a lot of workout today here. I'm just going to pinch that between, and you can see that all of a sudden took that spiral right out of our ribbon. It's nicely curly, but not spirally anymore. So I also would give you the tip of not cutting your thread or your ribbon off the roll before you tie your bow. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Make my loop, wrap around, and then I'm going to bring my end through that loop that I just made and pull that tight. And that gives us a bow. I like to call it my bow on nothing. Create a bow on nothing, so you're not tying it around anything. And then cinch down those little loops, because that is the key factor, making loops small, in getting it to sort of to look in scale with your card when you have something so small and dainty like this. So big hairy loops, not really the greatest fit for something like this. Okay, we're going to attach this right here in our collage of fun things. And to do that, I'm going to use a glue dot. So with these, I just roll them up so that they're like a little tiny taquito. I used to call them a little burrito, but I think they're more taquito shaped because they're so tiny and long and rolly, skinny. Okay, I'm gonna pop that on the back of the center of our bow, and then that will stick nicely here. And I usually just press my bow into it. That will stick nicely on our card. And then we have that pretty ribbon here that can sort of loop around and so forth. So there is our embellished, up-stamped version of our very simple starter card. And you can see the same layout on both. So you can, again, look for the sketch saver. This would be sketch saver number 5, Loven Stamped Sketch Savers. On my blog later today, you can download a picture. Hey, how many pair of snips do we need for one project? Anyway, let me show you the other version of this card, because remember I had one where I used this version of the paper. I kind of like this one with a purple background because it helps this white to stand out. But this one worked really well too. And this is the version without white paper. It also stands out because of our trick, right? We talked about this trick a couple times, making sure that the this panel here with our greeting is over the solid background, not 100% over the white background. It makes a really big difference in having that greeting be a good focus there. But otherwise, very similar cards. So, all right. So we covered a lot in this episode. Every greeting from Covered in Sunshine. I've shown you this one before a couple times. The dies from the Dainty Delight bundle. Even if you're like, okay, I don't need those greetings and those florals, man, these die sprays, there are so many florals in here, including like all the little tiny dots. So you can use these as a center of your flowers. Here are more flowers, delphinium, lots of, I mean, they could be larkspur, you know, whatever kind of color you want them to be. Lots of choices there. And then our super gorgeous fun pearls here. But really a simple version of this card works really well also. So, all right. So I think that's our video for today. Happy pre-Friday to everyone. That's what we say for Thursdays. And I will be back on Tuesday with another Maker Mornings with Meg video. Oh, I'm really excited about Tuesday's card. Also, there is an embossing folder. There is multi-step, two-step stamping. There is Dainty Designs Sale-A-Bration Designer Series paper. And I have 2 versions of that card also, because we're going to use the Country Bouquet stamp set with it. So, well, Country Bouquet and then another one. Dun, 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 the suspense. You can try and guess if you want. What stamp set has an embossing folder and 2-step stamping in it? So I don't know, gold stars to the person who can guess what stamp set we're using on Tuesday. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me this morning. Links are in the video description for all kinds of good things, including supplies that help to support my channel and these videos. I appreciate you very much. And also link to the Etsy shop where you can find all kinds of printable tutorials. So if you prefer having a sheet that you can print, most of them are about 10 pages for a set of 4 projects. You can check those there, and also supports my channel. So I appreciate that too. All right, and I appreciate you guys just for watching and commenting. Let me know where you're watching from, which version of this card you would rather make, the simple or the stepped up. And I will look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Have a terrific weekend, and I hope that you find some time to craft and do things that fuel you. So happy stamping, guys. Take care.